Let's take a look at MoCha's end-to-end character replacement tool and the FlashVSR video upscaling tool, which offer more complete features with lower memory usage and support for longer video upscaling updates. The FlashVSR place is actually very strong in my opinion. This is one frame I extracted from the original video and the zoomed-in version. Without a doubt, it clearly shows the effect. Now let's take a look at the workflow. I'm using RunningHub, the world's largest online anti-fatigue operation platform, which is also the most commonly used workbench for AI applications. Let's first look at character replacement in MoCha, and we'll discuss FlashVSR and detailed parameter adjustments later. As for MoCha, I've personally felt that it corresponds to an application other than Animate. It's more like a competitor to Viggo, creating some really interesting and fun content. If you can see these results, they are very close to MoCha's. The character isn't supposed to be merged in. That doesn't exist. In terms of quick startup, we need to load 2 input items. One is the original video, because if we're going to perform character replacement, it's obviously necessary to load the original video. The timing markers are also only applied to the first frame of the loaded video for marking and extraction. Then it will next sequentially backward. The extracted character is clearly the replaced role. The references below, number 1 and 2, are both roles we want to draw inspiration from. 1 can be the whole, then 2 should be clear facial features. The Get panel in MoCha clearly states just these 2 items. Once it's loaded, just click to run it directly. If there are any issues with the effect, we can make slight adjustments anytime. The minimum requirement for VRAM should be 16 gigabytes. After the process is completed, let's look at 3 test results. Why is it considered an entertaining thing to do? The reason is that if we want a recreation of the reference character to be extremely accurate, it's almost impossible. There is still a big difference between this input and the one animator model. Here, there's no need for any input video control, so consistency with the reference character doesn't have to be strictly enforced. It was meant to do some fun stuff. The advantage of MoCha is that it performs better than the one animator model when replacing characters in intense action scenes. So this is MoCha's part. Navigate to AI in RunningHub or click the link in the introduction to register and get 12 gigabytes. Log in daily to receive an additional 100 points. The corresponding AI workflow and one-click AI applications have been deployed online and can now be run and tested online. Then we'll look at part 2, Flash versus IEO. The difference here from the K-domain implementation is that it provides a more comprehensive realization. If you want to run it locally, you need to manually compile the wheels, but this is completely not recommended. It will deviate from the original intention and be extremely troublesome. We can run it with one click via the online version of RunningHub. Some updates mention this place, and we can clearly say that 24 gigabytes of VRAM can be scaled up to 2K resolution. For a 5-second video, I saw the workflow and made only minor adjustments based on its example process. In terms of quick startup, we need to load the video and then set the zoom level. For example, I've set it to 1.75 times here. Just run it directly. After the video finishes running, I added an image comparison node afterward. Scaling up a video is clearly different from scaling up an image. But if we take one frame out for comparison, it becomes clearly more distinct. It's undeniable that it's very hard to understand why some people say the effect of FlashVSR isn't good enough, because just a quarter ago, we didn't have such video magnification tools at all. That's basically the only option left. Looking at the parameter adjustment here, there is a tiny mode that uses a lightweight Inco model. If we don't use it, we can switch to the full-scale VAE model of Wainwright. Although this may yield better results, we strongly advise against such adjustments as they can put significant pressure on both our performance and GPU memory. It's too big. Okay, so we'll use a lightweight model here. 1, 2, 3 molds are completely standard. So Tiny Non was probably designed to handle long videos. So obviously this is a 5-second video here, and I didn't turn on anything else. I would zoom in on the video, get its width and height, and send them to this sampling node. The aspect ratio doesn't have to meet specific requirements. Here, it should be automatically aligned. We can set a seed, and I've locked it to 66 here. In this local range, it should be the number of frames to refer to for continuous control. So 7 is clear, and 11 will be even more stable. So personally, if we want to keep more details in a short film or prefer higher quality, we can use a 7:10 aspect ratio. If we aim for smoother playback, then using an 11:16 aspect ratio is better. This setting provides the best image quality, but uses the most GPU memory. If set to unique, the larger this value is, the less pressure it will put on our graphics memory, but the image will become blurrier. Should full tile mode be enabled? So if we turn it on, it will lower the quality of our generated results, so I turned it off. After enabling this feature, system performance requirements will be reduced. Color fix, I'll just go with the default option here. The author said it's cleaner and has no ghosting, but choosing this option would reduce the demand on our graphics memory. Personally, if we're already scaling up the video, it's better to ensure a good performance environment as much as possible. Adjusting the parameters during sampling isn't very noticeable yet. If we use a full variant model, the performance requirements will differ greatly. So I think just keeping the default settings here is fine. The entire video remains coherent when enlarged, so it's completely different from simply enlarging images. Highly recommended. So most of the time, this channel shares open source models and projects, but closed source models are where RunningHub really shines. It brought down the prices of many popular models, such as V2, Kelling, and Wansheng. Some specifications were even lower than the official published prices. The more you use it, the more you'll realize that saving up bit by bit really saves money in the long run.